to episode 2 of my analog review series. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Canon Ae1-Program. Now this is a fantastic SLR. It's really commonly used. They made an absolute ton of these, but that's because they were really successful. It was released in 1981 and it's the camera that everyone wanted. It wasn't quite the top of the range pro camera, that was the Canon Ae1, but it's great. It's got auto mode, which was really new at the time, which is why they called it the Program. And it is a fantastic camera for anyone who's thinking of picking up their first 35mm SLR. Now, I've got this one here with a 50mm 1.8 and a 28mm 2.8 lens. And I thought, because it's such a nice day in London, I'm going to go out and take some pictures around North London. I'll show you some pictures at the end. It's currently loaded with Delta400, and I'll show you the loading when I finish this roll and load the other one. I've got this GoPro mount here, which fits onto the hot shoe. So what I'll be able to do is give you that kind of point of view style video, show you what I see when I'm taking the shot, and you'll see the pictures, and you'll hear the shutter go off. Yeah, this is a really fun bit of kit, and there's not really a comparable SLR in this price bracket because it gives you auto control if you need it. It's fully manual. And because Canon changed their mount at the end of the 80s, the FD lenses, which are what this takes, are amazingly cheap. I saw this 28mm lens for £15 at a second-hand store in London, and you can get 70-200s for about £50. It is, it's a really affordable way to get into shooting 35mm film. And yeah, let's go out. You can see what I see. I will talk a little bit about kind of controls, ergonomics, but let's go and see some pretty pictures of Primrose Hill. So I'm in the park now, and yeah, there's a lot to see, and the view's nice, but I'm struggling with a 50mm lens to really get the whole view at once. There's also a lot of dogs. I don't know if you can see. Here's one. There's a few over here that I've already photographed. So I think what I'm going to do is take this 50 off. It's actually, I'm holding the camera in one hand, so I can't really juggle it. But I'm going to switch over to 28 and I can zone focus. If it's sunny and you're using a 28mm lens, everything's going to be in focus by about f8, so I'm going to try that for a bit. Walked out the hill, a bit out of breath. See if I can find some more dogs, maybe some slightly wider views. See what I end up with. I think the sound of it they can hear as well. Okay, so I finished my first roll of film. I've been in the park for about half an hour, and mainly I've just spoken to people with dogs and seen lots of pets being walked. I've been using the wide lens for most of the time because I'm struggling just to frame with the 50. Things are either really close or really far away, and that middle ground doesn't really perform so well. The 28mm lens is one of those things you can just focus it, and that's it. Yeah, you're going to focus on a meter, and you're going to get anything from 50 centimeters to 3 meters or so. That's not very precise, but the depth of field is greatly exaggerated as you move to wider focal lengths. What I'm going to do now is just show you guys how you load these. So this is finished. I've shot my 36th frame. So what I'm going to do is I press on the bottom the rewind button. I'm actually going to zoom in so you get a better view. So here you go. So you press this rewind button on the bottom, and now it's just a case of turning this spindle. And what this does is it just draws the film back into the canister.
So I do this for, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. There you go, that click was the sound of the film actually popping off its spool. So now, when I open the back, very easy, I just pull up on this, pops open, and here's my shot canister of film. Okay, now, this is my shutter, I've got to be really careful of that. But what I can do is, if I just go back into my bag, get another one out. I'm going to shoot the same film so I can develop them together in the same tank. Makes things easier. But yeah, loading procedure, really simple. Place your film in with the little pokey bit facing down. Then you want to pull it across and just gently poke the leader. I cut this on myself, which is why it looks a bit wonky. You push that in there. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. And I find the easiest way to make sure it advances is just to keep firing the shutter as you wind it. So there we go. Now I've shot 2 frames. If I close this up now, I'm fairly confident that it's wrapped around the spindle. And then you just got to advance the frame counter to the 1 symbol. Here we go. So next time I press the shutter, I'll take my first shot. It's ready to take 36 more pictures. So off I go. Okay, I'm running a little bit late because I hope to be home for 2 and it's 1:40 now, so that's unlikely to happen. I live about half an hour away. What I'm going to do is switch back to the 50mm lens. I'm just going to walk through Primrose Hill. It's quite a picturesque little village in North London. Take some pictures of like the stalls. I'm not really sure what to expect because I did walk a different way to get here. But yeah, I've got I've got over 20 shots left on my second roll. So I think what I'll do is see if I can get some more streety kind of shots on the way back and see how the camera does for that. So here goes. Now the controls on this camera are super simple. You've got your aperture dial around the lens and you've got your shutter speed up here. You set your ISO speed by depressing this button here and rotating the wheel beneath the rewind crank. Now this camera has shutter priority and full auto mode, but it doesn't have aperture priority, which is a bit annoying because that is something I'm quite used to shooting with. You can set your shutter speed depending on the ambient light conditions, and the camera, if you leave it in A, will pick out your aperture value accordingly. So that is a very effective shutter priority way of using it. But yeah, you get shutter priority, full auto, and manual, and no aperture priority. I find the auto mode, especially in shutter priority, so easy to use that I've burnt through 72 pictures in less than an hour. Yeah, it's making me shoot, which is good, I guess. But I'm used to using rangefinders, so I guess using the SLR is just a bit novel and makes me use it more. But if you're worried about the controls, I wouldn't be. It's phenomenally simple, it's easy to do, and yeah, it all meters as it should do. Although I will know that it does prioritize aperture over shutter speed. So if you're using this camera and you're shooting something which moves quickly, bear in mind it will prioritize depth of field over sort of keeping it sharp, so you might want to put it into shutter priority mode when something like that comes up. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it works.
Okay, so that just about wraps up my review of the Canon Ae-1-Program. I hope you enjoyed some of that footage. I apologise for the wobblier bits of GoPro action that you saw. Now, it was meant to be slightly more highbrow than me meeting loads of dogs in the park, but I had a good time. I hope that some of the shots you liked. Now, I am going to put a little plug in for my channel because today is the day that YouTube demonetized all of the small channels. I have, as of recording this, about 700 subscribers, and until I get 1,000 again, they're not going to run any adverts on my videos. And I need to get, I think, about 4,000 hours of watch time. I've nearly done that. I just need to get the subscribers. So if it's not too much hassle, if you could click subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I only get about, I think about £50 a year from the videos I've already made, but it is nice. It does add a little bit more sort of reason to make the videos. So please subscribe. I'm now going to show you the rest of the pictures from my trip. Now, I didn't film all of it because the GoPro was, one, pretty unstable, and two, I took a lot of pictures in the portrait orientation, and it just is quite jarring having the video veer 90 degrees every now and again. So yeah, thanks very much. Maybe you'll enjoy these pictures more than the ones in the video. Let me know in the comments, and yeah, if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much.